My name is Nancy Aycock. I am the lead innovator for the McWanago Community Library's makerspace called Metaspace 511. We are a public library makerspace that is open for all ages. We do all sorts of programming and it's free.
Well, then, so how does the makerspace integrate with public libraries, and what's the connection there?
Libraries offer so much for their community. We're beyond books. Of course, we have books, we have AV, we have study rooms, we have computers. Now we're also offering makerspaces. What that means is that when you come to a library makerspace, you have the opportunity to learn STEM programming, science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. And that's taught a lot in schools, but some people don't have access to that or access to that technology or to design thinking, especially, adults who didn't receive that in school. You can come to the makerspace and learn design theory while you're learning the laser engraver. So a lot of people can't afford a laser engraver. I certainly can't. So I go to my makerspace when I want to engrave something on wood, like a sign. Or if I want to 3D print something, we have this and other technology available that isn't easily accessible. And we're able to offer this to everybody in the community and surrounding communities. We're in McWanago, Wisconsin, but we're also open to everybody in Wisconsin. So you can come to the makerspace and learn different things.
What are the advantages of a makerspace within a library? Do the two interact?
Public libraries already offer programming for all ages. So you have anything from story time for your littles to you'll have bingo for seniors and everything in between. Now we can tie in to those programs as a resource. For instance, I can teach somebody how to 3D print because this month, September, is Save Your Photos Month. So I'm teaching them how to take a photograph and make it into what's called a lithophane. It's a 3D printed photograph. And it's something that a lot of people wouldn't think of to do because they don't have that equipment at home. So our adult librarian is hosting a program to talk about how to scan photos, and I'm joining him to partner to show people how to 3D print their photos.
So then what about kind of that community aspect? So how does a library and a makerspace kind of connect there?
So libraries connect with the community really well. We partner with schools. So we're a resource for grade schools, middle schools, high schools, technical colleges. And it's really great because we can offer things, say, if children start 3D printing in school, but then they don't have time to finish a project and they really want to, they can come to the public library makerspace, say in the evening or the weekend, to work on a project. Or they can bring their parents, and if they were telling them, hey, I'm learning how to make this, and their parents are like, oh, tell me more, say, let's go to the public library and I can show you what I learned. Or they can take classes together.
So then how about more of that kind of like individuals come together in more of a community aspect?
Absolutely. The thing I love about being at Maker Faire today is that this is a perfect opportunity to see how public library makerspaces can interact with a broader community. So we're next to the Milwaukee Makerspace, which is a community makerspace, and it's people who have all these different interests, welding, or they're retired and they want to teach people how to make something like woodworking, but we don't offer that at a public library. We can partner with a community makerspace and say, hey, we have someone who really wants to learn how to cut wood and come back to us and laser engrave. Would you work with them? So a place like the Milwaukee Makerspace can do that, or there's corporate makerspaces or just individual makers. And so we can work together as a community and not exist in a vacuum. We can help each other. And that, as a public library, that is kind of a mission of ours. We like to reach out to the community to offer services and partnership with a lot of different people.
Now, can individuals, say for instance, become volunteers? How do they kind of, what do you offer them?
Sure. So in my particular makerspace, like I said, it's free to use, but I also have volunteers that come help, which is really great. Right now we have community experts who are they're being trained on different equipment, like say the laser engraver. And what's really great about that, they get to spend extra time on that. And then when they're batched, so they're going to get certified, they can come in and use it whenever the makerspace is open, and then they can train somebody else.
That's great. And do you have like including like high schoolers, or are there kind of internship opportunities?
We're really fortunate. We are able to have 2 paid interns from the McWanago High School, from the IT Academy there. That is a career path. And so we are able to pay our interns to come work with us, which is really great because they're very tech savvy, and they come in willing to learn all different things. So they learn things from working drones to 3D printing, laser engraving. They learn how to talk to children and help do programming with them, say make a rocket out of a paper tube or something like that. So we give them that experience, and then they also learn things like how to create documentation. So we're trying to have that partnership with the high school to help train the future workforce. And we also take volunteers that want to give back or to learn skills that they can take to a job interview.
That's fantastic. So then if say for instance, a family learns a new skill, is there any other materials, resources that the library can provide in order to kind of continue that education?
That's a great question. And the answer is yes. We have library books, and then we have DVDs. We also have a YouTube channel. The nice thing about coming to the library is that you don't have to pay for the books. You just need a library card, which is, again, is free to everyone. And we are part of the Bridges library system, which means that we have access to library books through 24 different libraries in the system. So if we don't have it in McWanago, we can get it from somewhere else for you.
Now, what about objects? Say, for instance, if they want to kind of learn how to do a little bit of robotics, are there any robotic items that they can check out?
Our particular library has that's unique. We have what's called a thingery. So say if I teach you how to do virtual reality, and we have a headset, like a Quest headset or an Oculus Go, we actually have that in what's called our thingery. We have some items that you can check out from our library in our thingery, like an Oculus Go VR headset, or you can check out a kayak too.
Right. Anything else as far as like the library systems as a whole? Now, obviously, are there connections? Do the libraries speak to each other? How do they kind of interact with also other educational institutions?
Waukesha Public Library is starting up a makerspace. The Menominee Falls Library has a makerspace. We talk to each other about resources, programming. Like I said, we don't live in a vacuum. We want to be able to have as much knowledge and education that we can learn, that we can share with others, so that when our patrons come, when you come to the library, we can say, oh, if I don't know it here, I will find it out. Or if I don't do it here, I know somebody who does. My name is Nancy Aycock. I am the lead innovator at Metaspace 511 at the McWanago Community Library.